Good evening and welcome back to the Fantasy Endgame Live. We're here to help you prepare for the following week. That's right. Already rolling on to week 8. Is it week 8 already? Like I feel like we just
Already,
started.
it does feel like we just started. We're at I guess this is officially the halfway point. I guess a little past.
Pretty much for fantasy purposes. Yeah, here we go. Halfway point. And the first apocalypse. That's right. 6 teams are going to be off. And so last week we had 2 good teams off. This week, it's just a lot of teams off. So, yeah, you're probably going to need more help whether you like it or not. Waiver wire. And starts the decisions get a little bit tougher. So here's what separates, the experts from the newbies. So if you watch us here in the game, of course, you're going to be prepared because we're going to tell you what's what. And last night we had, again, for some reason, look, okay, 2 Monday night games like once in a while. Yeah, I know. We're gonna rant about this again. Why are we starting a game at was it 10 Eastern? Is that what it was?
The NFL is basically just saying like we don't care if the East Coasters watch this game, right? It's
Who's
crazy.
watching
It's
this?
crazy to me. Look, the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar business. They obviously know what they're doing. It doesn't make sense to me, but it must make sense to them.
I guess there must be a reason that they thought this was a good idea. I don't know. Um, Whatever. It's a game that we couldn't even stay up to watch because, well, we're busy anyways. We're busy preparing you guys for week 8. But, anyways, last night, a little bit of a letdown. Didn't expect Seahawks Texans to be like a great game, and it wasn't. It was more defensive oriented. I really thought the Bucks Lions was going to be a lot of fantasy goodness, and it kind of wasn't. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, sure, great if you have Jahmyr Gibbs. Other than that, I don't know, pretty disappointing as a whole, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty disappointing. And of course, very disappointing if you have Mike Evans or if you're a fan of Mike Evans, which how can you not be a fan of Mike Evans, right? Like, he seems like a good dude. He's had a great career. Let's hope this isn't the end, right? Let's hope he can somehow get back this year and at least finish out the year on his terms.
Yeah, well, one thing, it's not like the biggest streak or record in the world, but that 1,000-yard season streak, it's over. That's for sure.
Yes.
Definitely not getting 1,000 yards this season, and really kind of just a huge dud. And if you drafted him in fantasy, not through anyone's fault, just bad luck, right? Players get hurt. This is a guy who's really been an Iron Man, right? All of his career, never had any serious injuries, and they just all happened this year. Just so happened. In retrospect, maybe drafting a wide receiver in the first round turned out to be the right thing somehow. The Godwin thing, okay, I get it, but yeah, I mean, come on, Mike Evans being out for the season, Bucks kind of lucked into that. Well, we're going to need to pivot because Mike Evans obviously is going to be dropped, and we're going to figure out what do we do now. We're going to talk about some potential options for you. It's waiver wire night for a lot of your leagues, so we're going to figure out who's actually worth adding, and of course who you can move on from, because that's part of it too, is making those tough decisions. Like, who do you cut? Who do you just not wait around for anymore at this point? Who's some of that dead weight? Get it out. So before we get into that, also got some news today. Quarterbacks continue to revolve, and that's nothing new these days. That's just the norm, right? Quarterbacks' jobs are not safe.
Nope.
Justin Fields did not do a whole lot to hold on to his job, man. And I didn't see the comments, but I saw a headline, something about how the owner, Woody Johnson, basically ripped him apart. Is that what happened?
Well, he didn't rip him apart. He said, like, I feel like this team could be competitive and win games if we could complete a pass. So, I mean,
It's a shot fired.
it's a shot fired. I wouldn't call it ripping him apart, but it's definitely a shot fired. Yeah, I think this almost had to be done, right? I mean, the second time he's been benched, when the owner basically says like, "Hey, the current quarterback isn't good enough," yeah, you probably don't have a choice, right? You probably kind of have to bench him. So we'll see. We'll see what Tyrod Taylor can do this week.
I mean, I guess it can't be worse. It can't be worse, possibly. I don't think so. But part of it too, you're gonna get the trade rumors. They're still happening. There can be rumors up until the deadline passes. And now, of course, after another loss and Fields on the bench, not him specifically, because who's going to take on his contract, but Brees Hall and some of the defensive players and a lot of players of the Jets rumored to be on the trade block potentially. But it's not just that, okay, we can't win a game, but it's new coach here. It's like kind of sorting out, what they didn't do in the offseason. Like, these are my guys and these are not. And the holdovers who weren't from the Glenn regime, like, they're going to weed them out. I guess that's the theory here. I don't know if I buy into that. I mean, how safe should Aaron Glenn be, with his job right now?
Well, he did get the stamp of approval today, which is sometimes a kiss of death. But I mean, you like 0-7. I don't think you can feel very safe here. Very safe. Like, if Tyrod goes in there and they continue to be a disaster, I mean, like, it doesn't really make sense to fire Aaron Glenn like during the season. Like, why? Like, let's say they go out there this week and it's a disaster again and they go to 0-8. What's the point? Right? What's the point? Like, you're just gonna fire him, and like, are you hoping you're gonna go 9-8 this year? You're gonna win out the rest of your games? Probably not, right? So
Right.
season's over. You might as well roll with him all season and then decide what to do in the off season. So I think Aaron Glenn's job's safe, at least for this season. Beyond that, not so sure.
Yeah, they got up to another bad start next season. Who knows? But yeah, you're right. This isn't a team that was expected like contend, I don't think. So yeah, I look, the offense can't get much worse, at least pass offense. So let's just not patently dismiss all Jets. Same thing with my Dolphins. They've looked completely horrible last 2 weeks. There's still potentially some fancy value here. So again, just got to be smart. And then as far as quarterback news, also there was some debate about Minnesota. Looks like Carson Wentz still the guy because JJ McCarthy still healing. I know I saw there was a rumor that Max Brosmer was going to potentially start it because Wentz was having some sort of an injury, so maybe they would have to go to him. Thankfully, that's not the case.
Yeah, pretty sure unless Carson Wentz and JJ McCarthy literally couldn't throw a football, we weren't going to see that guy.
Yeah. Although if Carson Wentz, is throwing interceptions left and right or pulls up blame, during this week's game, maybe we do see it. But yeah, they had to figure that out pretty quickly because the Vikings are on the Thursday game. And so now we know we are treated to another week of Carson Wentz. So there you go. The treat that keeps on giving. All right. No, we're going to get to your questions. I know we had a bunch here already and I figure out what to do on the waiver wire. Of course, hopefully you've seen the video, the panic video, start to sit videos are coming out as usual, but we want to answer the questions about your team to help you specifically. First, I do want to make sure that we help you out in another way. We want to help you win some money. And you can do that on Underdog right now because if you haven't tried it yet and you sign up as a new customer and you use code ENDGAME, you will get up to $1,000 of bonus cash on your first deposit and a special pick. That's right. You're getting a gimme. It's a free pick. And this week, I believe it is Justin Herbert just going over 0 yards. So it's your gimme pick. Take that for Thursday. It's a free pick you get if you sign up using code ENDGAME. And when you make your first pick on Underdog, then as soon as you spend $5, you get $100 extra in bonus funds. So you're getting a free pick, getting free money. Just make sure you use code ENDGAME when you do that. And of course, make sure you take advantage of the profit boosts because it's Boostober for 10 more days. Sadly, only 10 more days, but unlimited 30% boosts for everyone, new and existing customers. So make sure you take advantage. Try to use those all month long. Also, make sure you're using the Draft Lane app. It's our app. You can ask all the questions that you ask on here, but use the app. Some of you do both, and that's great. We love it. That's perfect because I get to interact with you both ways. You can ask your question anytime. You don't have to wait for the live stream. So we'll show you what it's like. It's a free download. Again, App Store, Play Store. Just search Draft Lane, and you'll see it. And we've got some questions. We answer questions there all day, every day. And let me show you some of the questions here after I take Boost Over off. So you can ask an advanced trade question. You can do start sit, or those Yahoo and Sleeper users sync their leagues, and we can see your roster. It's a really cool feature. If you're on ESPN, NFL, somewhere else, just ask a question, and we can answer it. So let's see. Let's try this one. Oh, okay. It's nice and vague. General idea of what I could get with Judkins McConkey.
I mean, I think you can get a pretty good return here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you want to get, like, if you're looking to do a 2-for-1. I'm assuming that's what they want, like a 2-for-1. I mean, I think you should be able to get somebody pretty good. Like, look, I think Justin Jefferson is a good buy low right now. I think people are a little panicked about Justin Jefferson. I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can get Puka. I don't know about that. I mean, do I want Achane for those guys? I mean, I certainly prefer Achane, but do I want to give up those two guys just to get Achane? That I'm not sure.
The question I have, looking for a stud 2-for-1, at this point, would you want to buy low on Saquon Barkley?
I don't know. Saquon is so tough. Saquon is so tough. I think I'd rather buy low on Derrick Henry, honestly. But then again, I almost feel like, are you overpaying for Derrick Henry here? Like, are you overpaying? I mean, we're talking about two very good players here. We're not talking about two just kind of like, oh yeah, these guys are all right.
Yeah. No, I agree. It might be a little much for Derrick Henry based on how he has performed so far. And then Saquon, you'd think, yeah, you buy low on Saquon, but I mean, you got to at least hesitate a little bit.
I mean, you could maybe go like Derrick Henry or Saquon and maybe like Stephon Diggs, like throw in a Stephon Diggs.
Okay. I'm trying to think who else would be worth it. That's
maybe
not
a Pittman, like throw in a Pittman, get a high end, like a potential upgrade at running back, but still a good wide receiver that can help your team. But I don't know. I mean, unless you can turn these guys into like Josh Jacobs, CeeDee Lamb, I mean, I don't know if you can. Like, do I even want like Jahmyr Gibbs? I doubt it after this game. Like Puka, maybe because he's hurt and then he missed, and then there's a bye. But I mean, like, that's the thing. It's hard to trade for those guys, but feels like too much to give up for a Saquon or a Derrick Henry right now, as crazy as that sounds.
Okay, so suggest that you can try JJ Puka. If it doesn't work, you could go for a high-end RB like Barkley. What about Bucky?
Yeah, again, it just feels like certainly I prefer Bucky to Judkins, but do I like strongly prefer Bucky to Judkins? That's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if the gap between Bucky and Judkins is so wide that I feel like I should also have to throw in Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, so you would need something else back. So I'm going to say plus a wide receiver 2 type, like you said, Pittman. Who else? Diggs.
Guys like that they're solid, but they're not valued like, it's very super high end wide receivers, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. Trying to think. Let me see. Diggs. There was somebody else I was thinking. You could try to. Well, yeah. Would you want to buy low on Nico? Garrett Wilson.
I mean, Garrett Wilson definitely. I don't mind. I like Wilson still. I don't care if it's Tyrod or Fields. Nico, I don't know. I mean, Nico, what's that?
All right.
Texans offense looks broken. It looks completely broken.
Yeah.
Like,
All
I know
right,
we
well,
say the Jets offense is broken, but at least they get the ball to Garrett Wilson. Like, I feel like they just ask Nico to run the same route over and over. Like, he just runs the same, like, dig route over and over. And it's like the defense just goes, well, we'll just bracket him over the middle and he'll never be open. It's like there's no creativity in that offense at all.
yeah, the play calling has kind of come under fire, but we'll see if anything changes. All right, well, that's how draft lane works. It's the same as on the stream here. You ask your questions, we answer, we give you personal feedback as much as we can. Don't forget, just like on Underdog, if you use code NGAME, you get 10 free points. And those users, as I showed you here, using their points. So get those questions for free. So try it out. It's free download. And the app is Draft Lane. All right. Now, usually we start from the top. We got some questions that have been lined up for a while, but I figure this is a good place to start for everyone who's already on. And it is because another reminder, don't forget to subscribe. We got to 90K. We're on the way to 100. Thank you, everyone who has already subscribed. If you haven't yet, you're watching here. Maybe you're watching it for the first time, the fifth time. You've been watching 100 times. You haven't subscribed. I mean, really, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe button. Help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you, Starman. And I love the way he says the best source of correct information. We try to actually make sure the information is accurate before we say it, not a lot of speculation here. And our boy Royland, always in the house. What's up, Royland? Thank you, by the way. Almost to 100K. That's right. It feels crazy, but here's the question: with a running back in a flex, Saquon, Swift, J.K. Booty, or G. Will if he's healthy, Pearsall if he's healthy, or Ridley if he's healthy.
Yeah, even if Ridley's healthy, I don't know about that.
Oh wait, you need the receiver too.
So we need a running back, a receiver, and a flex.
Yeah.
I've got. What is this? Hold on, I got the wrong sheet open. My bad. Where's my? There it is. Okay. I still have Barkley ahead of Swift. Totally understand if you want to play Swift over Barkley. Man, wide receiver. I mean, what are you gonna do? Well, assuming they're all healthy, I would rank them G. Will, Pearsall. I'd probably still put Ridley ahead of Booty. I don't like Booty's matchup this week, but chances are you're going to be playing Booty because you're not going to have any other choice. Hopefully G. Will or Pearsall makes it back. Dobbins or Swift. Again, oh man, I know it's so hard to bench Swift after what we've seen, but this isn't necessarily a great spot for Swift.
No, you don't think so against the Ravens?
The Ravens are going to get healthier after the bye. I don't know. I don't feel great about Swift this week. I feel like it might be a little bit of a trap after the last 2 weeks. But, I mean, I think between Saquon, Swift, JK, if you if you want to bench Saquon there and just roll with Swift and JK, I'm okay with it, honestly, till we see something better from Saquon. And then at wide receiver, I mean, yeah, it's got to be G. Will, Pearsall, but probably gonna be Booty if those guys don't play, of course.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just assuming Pearsall doesn't play. Wilson, it's very sketchy. Who knows? I don't think I want to play Ridley even if he does play. Waiver wire dudes here. Okay, well, tight end. Hawkinson still with Wentz. Otten now that Evans is out, or some waiver wire dude.
Andrews, Taylor, Ingram.
Gadsden.
I mean, I think I got to take a chance on Gadsden. I don't mind Otten this week. I mean, no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin. Of course, there will be Igbuka, but I don't mind Otten this week. But I think you gotta pick up Gadsden. Take a chance. Take a chance here. He's been so good the last 2 games.
Yeah, I think so. The highest upside. Look, I just set my waivers in the draft lane leagues, which we have many, and there's a few where I had Trey McBride. I need a tight end this week. Or I had whatever random tight end I streamed last week and I'm ready to drop him. I picked up Otten in a couple leagues. That's the guy I'm pivoting to first. I picked up Ingram also in a couple leagues. And I think I picked up Gadsden in one of my leagues. Now, I know not everybody is in, 28 leagues like we are, but between those guys, I'm just saying there's not a big separation here. So probably Auden is my first choice, but Gadsden is obviously got a high ceiling there. And thank you, Bert. Just want to say great stash advice. Way ahead of the curve. I feel like we've accomplished our goal. This is what we aim to do, right? That's the whole point. End game. Like thinking ahead. All right. Michael Cazares. He was actually first. All right. Well, here we go. Pick up 2. Gadsden, Tez, Auden, Monangai, Rashard Smith, Spears, or Isaiah Davis. Speaking of stashes.
I mean, I think Gadsden has to be one of them. And I think I got to go Tez now as the other one. It's really weird because even though Tez is like this little dude, he's the guy that like fills in for like the outside Evans role. I don't know why. I don't know why they do that. Because remember he was doing well. If you were watching that game or following that game, I mean he was doing nothing, and then Evans went out and became the Tez show, right? It became like a bunch of Tez after that because Buka will play in the slot, Cameron Johnson will play in the slot. I don't know why, like he doesn't profile as an outside wide receiver, but that's kind of how they use him. So I think he's got to be the second one. Look, Evans out most or all of the season here. So this isn't like, a 1 week rental type of guy. He could be good for many weeks here.
That's exactly it. And like the same thing, I was talking about the waiver wire claims I'm making. I put in to get Tez in a few leagues, and not even because I need him this week. Just figure it's worth it. So yeah, it's those first 2 for sure. Tez is the guy.
In fact, let me look. So if you look here, yeah, Tez ran 53% of his routes on the outside. I don't know why. Again, I don't know why they do that. Because you would think this guy would just be like slot only because he's so little. I think if I look, how do I look at? Here we go. And if we look in the second half with Evans out, that's about the same. So yeah, I mean he'll be in the slot a little bit, but he profiles more as the outside wide receiver with Evans out. So I like Tez.
What's funny is I think I just assumed that Cameron Johnson was the little guy and that Tez was a little bit lankier. They're like the exact same size. I just looked it up. They're the same size. I don't know why I thought Tez was taller. He's not. But he seems to run more of those routes, like like an outside guy, and Cameron Johnson is the one they put in the slot, which is why we thought Cameron Johnson would benefit because we, of course, assumed that Buka wouldn't play and that Evans would. Well, Evans did for like a quarter, and then he broke his shoulder, and Buka somehow played. Like, yeah, you never know. But now we know Tez Johnson is definitely going to get some more snaps. Michael also wants to know: would you trade Kyron for Pickens?
I don't know. I think I'm holding Kyron here. I don't think Pickens is the guy I'm trading for right now. It wasn't like terrible for Pickens this past week, but it wasn't great. I mean, 6 targets, clearly behind CeeDee Lamb. Yes, he still has a potential for those big plays like we saw, but what was missing from the weeks prior without CeeDee Lamb was the inclusion of those nice, not big plays that help elevate his stat line, right? So instead of having 4 catches for 80 yards, where every catch is 20, 30 yards down the field, he would have 7 catches for 110 yards because he would get 4 or 5 catches that were 10 to 15 yards down the field. And, it's nice to have those. Helps the floor, helps the ceiling. I don't know how much of those he's going to get now. So I think I'm just going to keep Kyron here.
I think I mean, this depends on your need, right? This feels pretty fair. It's like a kind of high end RB2 for a high end wide receiver two. But I mean, you mentioned, of course, CD Lamb coming back. That impacts Pickens, but look what impacted Kyron last week. Blake Corum. Blake Corum got as many carries as Kyron Williams, the same amount. That's scary. It's a little frightening. Now, maybe this was just probably it was because they were winning so easily in the first half, right? They gave him a bunch
Yeah.
of carries in the second half. They didn't need to risk Kyron. So I'm not saying like it's a timeshare now, but I don't think this is uneven. This comes down to where you need more depth, or I guess where you have more depth. Let's go to Edgar Padilla now. Got a trade question. He says it's standard. Here's the roster. Got Kyron, Tootin, Harvey, London, Adams, and Dunze Diggs. Would you trade Adams for Henry? It's a standard league. You got to do that, right?
Definitely. I know Adams has scored 3 touchdowns and was a monster in standard, but look,
Sure.
Adams was a guy I was saying like buy low on for a lot of the season. Now I'm saying Adams sell high, coming off a 3 touchdown game where he didn't really do much else outside of those 3 touchdowns with Puka out and the potential for Puka coming back after the bye. I think this is now a good time to flip Adams for something better if you can. I still got to prefer Derrick Henry in a non-PPR league to Adams.
Yeah, if it's non-PPR, Henry has to have the advantage. So yeah, it's perfect time. You're sort of buying low, not super low, but it is in this format. Cody. Well, speaking of Evans, this seems obvious, but you can just drop Evans now, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they're saying that there's a chance that he could be back in December. Like, I don't know if I want to drop Evans. Like, if you're in like a super shallow league and you don't have an IR spot, I guess. But man, what if Evans comes back like week 15 or something, and your league mate gets him? Look,
I
they're
get
saying
that.
6. They're saying 6 to 8 weeks, right? That could potentially be week 14, week 15.
True. It depends. It always depends on the format. I dropped him in a couple of leagues, but that's because I needed players. So you can drop him, but it depends how badly you need that bench space. Okay, so Michael has a few others. Here we go. Michael Cazares. Trade Chase Brown for Devonta Smith.
Here, I will definitely take Devonta Smith. I think Chase Brown is an obvious sell high right now, coming off a pretty good game, 100 yards against that horrible Steelers defense. I think this is a good time to trade Chase Brown. I'll take Devonta Smith, definitely.
Yeah, take Devonta Smith. That ceiling is back. And he also was offered Sutton, Diggs, and Kittle for Rico and Judkins.
I mean, I think you have to take this. You have to. Like,
Yeah.
okay, Rico was still like okay. Like, he was good for real life, but for fantasy, what did Rico really give you this week? Like, not a whole lot. He's probably not going to give you a whole lot because at a minimum, this is going to be a 50-50 split. And it wouldn't even surprise me if we see more Chuba this week, the way Dave Canales was talking. Yeah, you got to take Sutton, Diggs, and Kittle. This is basically Sutton, Diggs, and Kittle for Judkins and a bye-week fill-in running back, it feels like, kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely worth it. And then let's do and his running backs are you're good enough. You're fine. Anthony Terry. Okay, so who are you going to drop or not stash between Coker or Burden?
I'm going to drop Coker, I think. I mean, at least Burden is someone. I mean, Coker wasn't even like Coker last week. It was Leggett.
Yeah.
And I mean, how good can we feel about that Panthers offense right now? Like, okay, I don't think Andy Dalton's going to come in and make a big difference. And if he does for one game, we saw this last year where he came in. Remember that first game, like
Yep.
oh yeah, and then he was terrible after that again. Like,
lit it up.
yeah, and then he was awful again. And then what happens when Bryce Young comes back? Does the offense really support? I don't know. I'm gonna still go Burden.
Yeah, that offense, like you said, in better situation. Let's do that. What about, well, okay, Spears, I did hear about this. I didn't hear why, but that's right. The other day, Doug Martin, you remember the muscle hamster?
Yes, of course.
R.I.P. Doug Martin. What was it?
Well, apparently he had been dealing with like a lot of, we don't know the full story yet, I don't think. But he'd been dealing with a lot of mental health issues. I guess he was staying with his parents at like 4 a.m. He left the house and tried to break into like a neighbor's house, and they called the police. The police came and arrested him, and apparently all we know is he died in police custody. So not sure what happened there, but yeah, sad situation here. Rest in peace.
All right, yeah, definitely. He was definitely a good player in his time. Everybody remembers. Okay, let's go to Mark Wassman. My wide receivers this week are Austin and Judy. That's not
Well, it
good.
does sound like Austin's playing at least, so there's that.
Well, technically, Jerry Judy has been playing all season, although you wouldn't know it.
True.
Vidal, Henry, Williams, Dobbins. Do you think I should trade for a receiver? And it's a 14-man league. Okay. Wow, you're 5-2.
I mean, you're 5-2. You say your wide receivers this week, so I assume you've got good wide receivers on bye.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, if I'm 5-2, I'm not going to panic trade just to get a wide receiver for this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be surprised sometimes. Like this has happened to me before. Like even this year, it happened to me again where we had a team. It's a 14-team super flex. The week Drake London was on a bye, we needed a win. We traded for Nico and Jamison Williams. We traded like London and I think Kenneth Walker. So it wasn't like we got a bad deal at the time. It looks pretty bad now, but at the time, and like we would have won because we had Calvin Ridley on the bench. Because remember, this was the week where Calvin Ridley had done nothing, and then that week he had like 15 fantasy points. Like if we had just started Calvin Ridley, we would have scored the same amount of points. He scored basically the same amount of points as Nico that week. We still would have won. And then the next week was the week Drake London went off, and we would have won that matchup. But instead, Nico did not go off, and we lost that matchup. It's like if we had just stood pat, we would have been better off. So sometimes the best trades you make are the ones you don't make.
That is true. That's very true. And look, Mark, we don't know who you may be able to get on waiver wire. 14-team are obviously tougher. If you really don't like the idea of starting Jerry Judy, which I think nobody does at this point, there might be a guy here like, really? But he might wind up being better, might have more upside, than Jerry Judy. And, I talk about guys as stashes the videos coming out in a couple days, but like maybe Tez Johnson is still out there. I would start Tez Johnson over Jerry Judy at this point, maybe you can get him. So, right. But again, yeah, generally speaking, bigger point, like you were saying, don't make a trade just for a bye week. It's usually a bad idea. Right. All right. NTY, what is up? I've been on the, so we were talking earlier. I think he asked something very similar, maybe the exact same question on Draftland earlier, because I remember good RBs, bad wide receivers. Dobbs and Terry. What's the best available? Is it Gadsden, Monangai, or do I waiver wide receivers? So again, hard to tell who's available in your league. 10-teamer. There should be some decent options, but let's say the guys who you might actually be interested in, who might actually be available, wide receiver. So like Tez Johnson, I'll say it again. I think Xavier Leggett, I know I talked about, but I don't know how great you feel. Dobbs is there, and then you got guys like Monangai. Who would you go with?
I would go with Dobbs. I don't think there's anything wrong with Dobbs this week. Yeah, I think Tez Johnson's also fine. I think, look, if it's a 10-teamer, if Travis Hunter was dropped before this past week, right? Because a lot of teams dropped Travis Hunter. He was doing nothing. If he's still out there, I would look at Travis Hunter, although the Jags are on bye this week, so he's not going to help you this week. But I think Dobbs is fine. And look, I do feel like, obviously I wish it was Jaden Daniels playing this week. It's probably going to be Mariota, but I do feel like Terry's going to be back this week. Remember, he was practicing a little bit last week. They didn't put him on IR. This would be like 5 missed games now if you miss this game or something, or 4. So I feel like he's going to be back this week. But I think Dobbs is fine this week.
Yeah, Dobbs definitely solid. Again, Tez a good option, and probably again your league. Maybe Josh Downs is available. He should be back this week too, don't you think?
Yeah, yeah. Because remember, it was concussion, so probably back this week. Yes.
So you'll have decent options. Monangai is more of a stash. I don't think I would start Monangai this week over those type of receivers.
No.
Or Gadsden, right? I wouldn't start Gadsden over those guys. All right, then we got Steven Baker, Easy Bake, or Icy Hot Joe.
I'm going Baker. I know he finally had his first, down game last night. Like credit to the Lions. Like they played like they disguised their coverages well. They confused Baker. But I'm not worried about that this week. I think this is a good bounce back spot against the Saints. I don't think the Saints are going to disguise their coverages and confuse Baker. He's still got Igbuka. Igbuka should be healthier. Now he's got Tez Johnson. I'm still going to go Baker here.
Yeah, I'll give the edge to Baker. And I will say, like Evans out, that's obviously a big blow, but Evans has been out and it didn't matter to Baker Mayfield. I think what's tough, you think about it, they had Evans for part of the game and then they didn't. I think it's tougher feeling like, part of the game plan is here's the guy who we're going to throw to. It's Mike Evans, right? And then having that change mid-game just like that. And like, oh, now we're having to adjust because we thought Mike Evans was going to be out there. Now going into the week, they're going to prepare knowing we don't have Mike Evans, period. You know what I mean? Just
No,
that.
you're right.
Yeah, I mean, that's just he's known for weeks. He did not have Mike Evans and he was fine. So I think last night just kind of was weird and, credit to the Lions. It's the Saints. Gonna go Baker. Moises needs a tight end and a flex. Okay, so let's rank these in order. Okay, so we talked to Auden and Gadsden. What about Pitts?
Well, I think Gadsden still is. If we're talking about picking up, I think Gadsden's the one you want to pick up. I mean, this is the guy who has the most potential upside rest of the season. Like Pitt's fine, Otten fine. I mean, obviously we know Evans not coming back for a long time. Maybe Godwin will be back, but look, there, like you said, there were many weeks where Evans was out and Otten was doing nothing. I feel okay about Otten this week, but I'd feel better if Igbuka was also out. Then I'd really like Otten. And like you said, that's a good point. When you're, best player, I mean, your best offensive player, like Mike Evans, gets hurt like that, and especially like that, it's going to impact everything. It's going to impact the game plan. It's going to impact the players, right? You see your best player go down like that, it's going to impact you. So, I think Gadsden's got to be number one here. I'd probably say, I don't know. I guess I'd put Otten two. Pitt. I don't really have a strong preference between Pitts or Otten. I just think Gadsden's clearly number one here.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the list here because the tight end video has not come out yet, right? So I think I got them all in the same tier, but Gadsden has the most upside. I think I have Pitts last, but again, very close, very close. Just don't feel like the Falcons. I mean, come on, are they really gonna have to pass the ball a lot against the Dolphins? Probably not.
No.
And then flex, well, I would love to say Travis Hunter, except you can't do that this week. So I guess go Tez or Gold.
Yeah, I probably just put Tez in. It's the Saints. Come on, it's the Saints.
There you go. And dropping Henderson and JMO. You're cool with that?
Oh man, I mean, I actually tweeted out. I tweeted out today. I said Jameson Williams in 2025, and it was a picture of Gabe Davis. I mean, that's who he's been, right? That's who he's been. Like, yeah, every now and then he'll pop off, but the rest of the time he's just killing you. But I guess. I mean, Travion Henderson, what did he play? Like 5 snaps last week? Like he was like, it's going the wrong way here. This is not how we're supposed to be going.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to do it, but exactly. You're just holding on for hope, right? You just I mean, at this point, you're just hoping for Ramondre to get injured. That seems like the only hope. But
honestly, even then, even if Ramondre, like right now, they're like, oh, tore his ACL in practice, do they feel good enough about Travion Henderson, or would they just like have it be some committee with a practice squad guys and some dude they signed off the street? I think they might. I think they honestly might.
yeah, they'll just start Jermichael Hasty or something like that.
Yeah, like I don't think it's so much a Ramondre issue as it is a Travion Henderson issue. Like I saw a stat today. He's not been good. He just hasn't. He has not been good.
True. All right, well, do it. I mean, I would say, look, even though you can't start him this week, still pick up Travis Hunter. I'm definitely fine dropping JMO for Travis Hunter. You want to grab him. Jay needs to bench either Pickens, Sutton, Ladd, or Ibuka. That's tough.
I think Pickens is the one I have lowest, but let me make sure. Yeah, I have Pickens. I think Ibuka is borderline a must start now against the Saints with no Evans. Borderline must start.
Yep.
Sutton, this is still, Sutton's still solid. Ladd's still solid. I think Pickens out of this group is last for me.
Keep in mind, yes, he's been good. Even with CD back, he was still good, not great. But Broncos, he's going to see at least some pass returns. This is the week to worry about Pickens. And tempted to play Herbert instead of Caleb. I would play Herbert instead of Caleb anyways.
Yeah, Herbert over Caleb, yes.
All right, Mark again. Thoughts on this trade? Booty and Mooney to get Marv.
Yeah, I'll take Marv here. I don't love Marv. I'm not like excited to go get Marv, but for Booty and Mooney, sure. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, Booty and Mooney
because we're old. Well, we have a lot of people on the stream who are not young.
Experienced.
Old. Experienced. Like I don't know what they call it. I don't know if they call it mooning people anymore. Probably not, but. That's what we used to call it.
I'm sure there's a term. Let me get back on Urban Dictionary and see what it is. No, don't do that. That's a mistake. You'll regret it. C Hibbs. Have Bucky. Do I trade Rachaad White and Ladd for Cup and Brees?
Cup, what year is this? Why are we trading for Cup?
I don't think so.
Did Cup do something? I don't think Cup did anything. I mean, he threw an interception, but he didn't do anything outside of that last night.
Interception. And he's on bye this week, so he's not going to do anything.
No, if I have Bucky, I don't really want to trade Rachaad White away.
Yeah. That's a good point,
and
too.
I certainly don't want to trade Ladd for Cup or Brees, honestly. Look, I think Brees can be good this week because it's the Bengals, but that's this week.
And you're fine. You got Henry and Swift or White, and then when Bucky comes back, I mean, this doesn't help you in any way. So no, don't do that. All right, here's Starman's question. This is full PPR. Have Derrick Henry, Kyron, Rashad, and Bill. Chase Brown was dropped. Ooh, okay. Would you drop either Bill or Rashad for Chase Brown?
I mean, I just said Chase Brown, I think, is a great sell high. But at the same time, if I can get Chase Brown for free off the waivers, I probably have to do it.
Who would you drop? I mean, I'm look, he's been bad the last couple of weeks, but Bill is still sort of the guy, if they're all healthy, maybe. It's like Rachaad White, once Bucky comes back, goes back to being 1B. So I think it would be White. I'm going to drop.
Yeah, I think that's where I was leaning to. But then the part of me is like, but man, I really want to start Rachaad White this week again against the Saints. Like I really want to put Rachaad White in my lineup against the Saints if I can. And you're not going to have Kyra in this. You're not going to have Kyra in this week. So
it's true. You dropping Bill?
I don't know. I don't want to. Who are your wide receivers? Tight ends, quarterbacks. You have two quarterbacks. You have two tight ends.
Yeah, drop someone else. Yeah, I think I'll leave him. I think I'll leave him for now. Just sit tight. Like maybe he's still there after this week. All right, Sammy. Says, thank you for talking me off the ledge from starting 2-2 over Pittman. Yeah, that never sounded like a good idea. Won my match by a third of a point. Okay.
Wow.
Man, that's sometimes, we're like, oh, the, streaming tight end that you pick up doesn't matter. Sometimes it does matter. Sometimes it's all it takes. PPR, Keenan Allen or Jalen Warren?
To Jalen Warren, yeah, I'm going Keenan Allen this week. Jalen Warren was in a good spot last week, not so much this week.
Nah, not at all. So, go Keenan here easily. Ian Rankin. All right, what is that same question? Drop or hold Mike Evans? Just depends.
Yeah, I'm not dropping Mike Evans unless I have to. Like if it's a really shallow league, you don't have any IR spots, sure, but I don't want to drop Mike Evans and pick up like Luther Burden or Christian Watson or the guys who are stashes. Like I'd rather just hold Mike Evans.
Right. If you need to drop him, then I'm okay with it. I did drop Mike Evans in a couple leagues, but again, they're more shallow. It was like a 10-teamer. I think one was an 8-teamer. Like I need somebody. So the Rico guy, still pretty much loving life. I know Rico's still kind of a thing. All right, League Mate is willing to trade Odunze for Warren. Assuming Jalen Warren again.
I would definitely take Odunze here. Assuming Jalen Warren. If it's Tyler Warren, I don't know. It's close. But if it's Jalen Warren, definitely taking Jalen Warren.
And he says, or give up Chase Brown instead of Warren. I would give up either one to get Odunze.
Yes.
Alexis Aguilar, League Mate, wants me to trade. The proposal is Judkins and Collins for Gibbs.
I'm taking Gibbs. I'm just going to take Gibbs here. All right, so this is kind of like we just had, like, on the draft lane, Judkins and Ladd for. Look, if somebody's willing to take Judkins and Collins for Gibbs, why wouldn't they take Judkins and Ladd for Gibbs? I want Gibbs. Now, I don't know if they offered you this. Like, I don't know if they offered you, like, hey, take my Judkins and Collins and I'll take your Gibbs. If that's the case, this is a hard no.
Probably. I'm guessing that's what the offer was. After last night, which player would they want to trade away and which player would they want to be getting? I wonder.
Right.
Not a coincidence after the Houston game that he's trying to trade away Nico Collins. No, I think you just keep Gibbs here. Look, it's not a bad offer. And maybe Nico is a stud the rest of the way. If so, then maybe that side wins. But do you want to take that chance? Like, do you need to take that chance? And then start Dak against a nasty defense or Daniel Jones?
I'm still taking Dak here. I don't care. Dak, he's been too good. Look what Jackson Dart just did to this defense.
True. And then besides that, Daniel Jones, he gets the Titans. Well, he didn't do much against the Titans last time. Like, he was just okay. They don't need to pass against the Titans. So, no.
Exactly. It's going to be another JT week.
Oh, yeah. Like, every week's a JT week, basically. Python, what's up? Would you trade Chase Brown for Ladd?
I mean, if I can get Ladd, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Isn't it funny how 2 weeks ago went from Chase Brown being dropped and droppable to, like, we can sell high on him now for one game?
Yep. That's how fantasy works.
Admiral Habibi, appreciate you being here as always. Bench slots are really filled, having a tough time deciding, okay, who do we drop? Okay, look, I know we're like, okay, Henderson is not having, at least there's some upside, some potential here. I can drop Gainwell instead of Henderson.
Yeah, I probably can too. Although I'm not going to lie, there's a part of me that at least is like, well, at least I know that if Jalen Warren goes down, it's going to be all Gainwell because we've seen that.
You're still thinking it's JaMychal Hasty and the Patriots?
Yeah, I don't think the issue, like, this doesn't to me feel like an issue of like we like Ramondre so much that Travion Henderson just can't get on the field. This is an issue of like we just don't like Travion Henderson right now. Like, I don't think an injury is going to change that. I mean, I'd probably drop Gainwell if it's my team, but there's a part of me that thinks maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, I have to remember this is no, it's not the Bill Belichick Patriots. It's Bill Belichick disciples, Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels running the show, and they come from the Belichick school of we hate rookie running backs. So yeah, um, but I don't know. I'm still dropping game one. What about Anthony Estrella? Trade Hampton for Bucky.
Yeah, I think I still got to prefer Bucky here. I mean, we're talking about 2 injured running backs, but I feel like Bucky's probably closer to returning than Hampton. And even when they were both healthy, I preferred Bucky. So give me Bucky.
Yeah, go with Bucky here. We have a new, I believe, a new user. I've never seen a comment. New contender for best name, best scream name. Baba Booey Huey. All right, Baba Booey. Like from the Howard Stern show. Is that what it was? Trade Lamb for Genty and Adams.
Negative. I'm keeping CD Lamb here. I'm not taking Genty and Adams for Lamb. Negative.
This one feels a lot closer than that Judkins Nico one. You're like, what do we think about Nico these days? I mean, Genty could be a stud. Adams is really solid. This is very close, but I only do it if like you're down bad at running back, right? You need Genty to boost your RB room.
Well, here's why. Because obviously I do the buy low video every week. This is why I don't necessarily want to buy low on Genty. You look at it after the buy, Jacksonville, okay, that's not terrible. Denver, that's pretty bad. Dallas, okay, that's good. But then Browns, Chargers, Denver, Eagles, Texans, okay, gets the Giants if you're still alive in week 17. I mean, look at that finishing schedule. Browns, Chargers, Broncos, Eagles, Texans. Behind this offensive line, Genty may not be very good second half of the season. You may not get first round worthy Ashton Genty behind this offensive line. So I'm just going to keep the stud Lamb here.
That's that's an excellent point. And in fact, Mike Clay each week does the projected rest of season strength of schedule. It's adjusted. So right now, Raiders for running backs, future strength of schedule 24th. That's not too good. So
and that's only because they get the Cowboys and the Jaguars. Like that's the only, and then he does get the Giants in week 17. But again, like if you make it to week 17.
Well, yeah. All right. So there you go, Baba Booey Huey. And then we have Alex Snodgrass, real estate. Welcome back. Drop Darnold, who's on bye for either Flacco or Dart. Those are the 2 guys I mentioned on the waiver video.
Yeah, and you have JD5. I think I gotta prefer Dart. I gotta prefer Dart.
As much as my heart wants to say Flacco, the head says Dart. He's got that rushing upside. I think Flacco's totally serviceable this week, but yeah, we got to go Dart. And then we go to Cody Wayner, Algier Spears, Monangai. All right, so all those guys could have quote unquote sneaky value. Who's got the best value?
I think I'm gonna go with Monangai. He's getting involved. It's not like he's only involved because they're like winning or blowing out. He's actually getting involved, getting goal line run. Like Algier against the Dolphins is not a bad option for sure. But I feel like Algier to me feels like he has to score or I'm going to regret it. Whereas Monangai like could catch a pass or 2 at least, right? Is involved. So I think I'm going to go Monangai here.
Yeah, so I didn't mention him on the waiver video. I guess I could have now in retrospect that I dug into it because I didn't really think about Tyler Algier because sometimes he's just completely phased out. But in the games where they're winning, they're able to just run, which the Falcons want to do that. They want to run, right? In neutral situations, they're one of the most, I think, am I wrong? Are they the most run heavy team or the one of them at least?
Yeah, they got to be up there.
And so in the games where they're able to just run the ball, he gets double-digit carries. And double-digit carries in a game where you're winning, running from ahead, it's the Dolphins, right? I mean, come on. Like, this is it. It's the Dolphins. But it's not a guarantee that they're going to humiliate the Dolphins, although it feels like a good chance. So I agree. Monagai is at least more involved. Monagai it was almost a near even split with Swift, which is kind of shocking. I mean, that's what was surprising. He was involved. He actually got a goal line carry for the first time. Now, it doesn't mean he'll get them going forward that much, but at least he's trending the right way. What about tight end? We need either Taylor Gadsden Johnson. Is Gadsden, I assume.
Yeah, I think you got to take a chance on Gadsden here.
All right. Arvin Angelis, how's it going? Might need another QB with JD looking questionable. Looking for a trade, either Swift or Wandale for Baker or Dak.
Look, I don't necessarily want to trade for a QB, but if I could trade Wandale Robinson for Dak or Baker, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Any preference? I mean, I guess I'm assuming you're just looking for this week because we hope JD is back next week, even if he's out this week. So this week, Dak gets the Broncos, but Baker gets the Saints. Would you go for Baker?
I mean, yeah, because you're probably. I mean, this is the reason why I don't necessarily love doing this trade. I think it's okay. Like if they're like, no, give me Swift, I'm probably just going to say no. Because what if Daniels is back next week? You basically just traded for a 1 week rental at QB. But yeah, I think this week I do prefer Baker, but they're like back to, I mean, it's like Baker Dak.
Right.
Baker Dak.
Right. I agree. I wouldn't do it for Swift right now. If they take Wandale Robinson, fine, do it. If not, again, maybe Dart's out there. Joe Flacco is not the worst option. He can get you by 1 week. Alyssa, good afternoon. I guess it's evening now. Flacco or Williams?
Still got to go Caleb here. I don't necessarily love Caleb this week, but I don't think I can put Flacco in over him myself.
You could go Flacco. Look, I'll go Caleb because it's the Ravens. It's look at say this in the videos. Don't expect it necessarily to be a shootout. I know on the surface you're like bad defenses, lots of scoring, but I don't think that's how it's going to go necessarily. But he's got a high floor. All right, Jordan Olson is back. He dropped 26 last night, but I don't know if he'll do that ever again. Are we selling high on Judkins? Well, it wasn't last night, but the night before.
I mean, I never mind selling high on a guy, especially coming off a big game like that, and especially coming off a big game where he scored 3 touchdowns, had 1 long run, but the rest of the game he was just kind of like okay, right? I mean, he had that 46-yard run, but he only ended the game with 85 yards on 25 carries. So on his other 24 carries, he only had like 40 yards against the Dolphins. Yeah, so I'm okay selling high here, but it's got to be a sell high. Like I'm not trading Judkins for, like Vlad McConkey, Cortland Sutton. Like nothing wrong with those guys, but I don't feel like that's selling high. I just feel like that's trading him to trade him. Now, if I could trade Judkins and get like, I don't know, a Derrick Henry, somebody's panicked about Derrick Henry. Maybe a Drake London. Maybe look, people are nervous about Justin Jefferson right now. Like if I can sell that high that way, sure, I'm doing it.
It's true. And you never know until you try. You know your league, know the guy who you're dealing with, hopefully is open to something like that. But yeah, I think generally speaking, I'm not selling Judkins just because he's coming off a big game. Like he's been good pretty much all year. Don't expect that was just a fluke. It was just because it was the Dolphins. 3 touchdowns, yeah, that's because it was Dolphins. But all right, and then we got Admiral Habibi just made a trade. AJB and Jordan Mason for Bucky Irving and Travis Hunter. I'll take the Bucky side, I think.
Yeah, probably prefer the Bucky side. Bucky's probably the one I like the most in this deal. You got to be feeling pretty good about Travis Hunter right now. So I'll take the Bucky side here, assuming you don't need Bucky or Travis Hunter this week, which I assume if you're making this deal, you don't need Bucky or Travis Hunter this week.
Right. And then how about Vanilla Coke? Needs a streamer. Flacco or Tyrod? Which old man get you.
Well, here I'll definitely go Flacco. I mean, how good are we feeling about Tyrod Taylor? Tyrod Taylor has higher projected points than Flacco. That's interesting.
Well, learned long ago to just ignore projected points.
Yes.
Matt Friend wants to know, are Gadsden and Mooney must adds? No.
Mooney definitely not a must add. He's fine. He's fine. Gadsden also not a must add. Like if I have a stud tight end, I'm not really feeling like I have to add Gadsden.
Yeah, you can't say must add. He was looking like a strong add, yes, but you know, you don't want to overreact to 1 week as always. Had to throw the ball. What was it? 48 times? Something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably not going to have to throw it 48 times against Carson Wentz and the Vikings.
No, not this week. All right. Anthony was going to drop Sterling Shepard. Would you flex him or Nick Chubb? Oh boy.
Yeah. Do we have an option C?
I hope so. I think wasn't it him or you're saying like the other Bucks receivers were already taken? I was going to say Tez Johnson, but maybe he can't get him. I don't want.
The thing is, like Shepard, I just don't think. I mean, I don't even know if Igbuka and Evans were both out of Shepard would even benefit. To be honest,
this is a situation where I would say if Arondi Gadsden is available and you pick him up, I would stream him. I would flex him or Shepard. I mean, look, you've probably seen the waiver video, but if you're in that deep of a league, it's got to be somebody better. Cali Kid needs a QB. Also, Purdy, Rodgers, Dart, Flacco, Wentz, Williams.
It's between Dart and Caleb for me here. I don't know. You probably should go Dart. Probably just got to take a chance on Dart.
Yeah, Dart seems to be the best option here. He's got that rushing upside. Of course, he's not going to do what he did last time against the Eagles. I doubt it. But Williams is fine. Dart's probably your best option, though. Juice, what's up, Juice? By the way, he said good game to you in one of the end game leagues. I don't remember which one you were matched up with him.
All right.
Throwing this out here.
Did I win or lose? Did I win or lose? I was starting to go through them before the stream.
Yeah.
I don't even check them until I go to set waivers tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Although I did see there was one league where I'm like 2-5, and I'm like looking at my roster. I'm like, dang, this team is like stacked. I must be in like first or second place. And I'm like 2-5. I'm like, how am I 2-5? And I have the fourth most points scored in the league, and I'm 2-5. I'm like, oh, so I've gotten unlucky every week because the team is like low. I'm like, wow, this team is stacked. And I'm like, wait, I'm 2-5. How's that? Oh, like I have the fourth highest points, but I'm 2-5.
Gotta love those are the best. When you miss the playoffs and you're like the highest scoring team.
Yeah.
Belichick returns to the Jets. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wasn't it when he first was let go by the Patriots before he went to college that he wanted to coach in the NFL, but no team wanted to hire him? Isn't that already the case? I don't think he's exactly improved his stock after what we've seen this year at UNC. Don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think his stock has improved.
All right, let's go to Boogie. Juwan Jennings or Tez Johnson?
I mean, I might just take Tez Johnson at this point, honestly. Honestly. What are we getting from Juwan Jennings? Tez Johnson in that Bucs offense with Baker. I might just take Tez.
Yeah, what we're getting is a headache. One good game, 4 pretty bad games. 2 catches for 16 yards, 2 catches for 24 yards, 1 for 7 yards, and then last week 4 catches for 31 yards. He had one good game. Yeah, I don't think so. Just might as well look somewhere else. All right, what about Zachary Mudd? Who should I start in the flex? Franklin, Mooney, or Tez Johnson?
Yeah, just give me Tez Johnson at this point.
Yeah, like Mooney did have a decent game last week, but the 49ers had a very clear game plan. Don't let Drake London go for 200 yards like he did the week before, right? Or whatever he had. Like that was it. They just made sure that London didn't kill them. They kind of let Mooney go. They're like, fine, do that. And it worked. It worked pretty well. And that's a tough defense. But I don't know. Mooney just doesn't have a ceiling. Tez Johnson at least is scoring touchdowns. Should get even more targets. Rail. Someone offered me Josh Allen for Lamar. But why?
I don't. Whatever. I mean, I'd probably take Josh Allen just because I know Josh Allen's going to play this week. I mean, I'm pretty sure Lamar's going to play this week. But what if? What if they're like, nope, not quite ready yet? I mean, what I don't know. What is this? What is this here?
Like which team do you like better? Like I don't know. Yeah. I guess I would say take Josh Allen because he hasn't been hurt this year. That would be the only thing. But
Yeah,
it's like why is somebody doing this? Ernesto is back. Okay. Trade Higgins for Judkins. He already has a Dunze, Puka, and McMillan, Jacobs, Kamara, Chuba, Rico, and Kyron. Worried about the Panthers? Yeah. Okay. But forget all that.
yeah.
Higgins for Judkins.
I'm okay with this because you have 3 good wide receivers when Puka's healthy. Your running backs, I mean, I guess Kamara is going to be the guy now. Although you do have Kyron Williams, like Kyron Williams. Yeah, I mean, it seems fine. It seems fine to me. I'll take Judkins.
Yeah, this now feels fair, right? It feels pretty fair that T. Higgins is back to basically being a wide receiver too. We think more low end than high end, but whatever, he's still startable. Yeah, because you're deep at running back, but you're right. I mean, you don't have Kyron this week, and you might be a little bit worried. Which Panther do you start? Kamara, like even though Kamara is now like the only guy there in New Orleans, I don't really feel better about him. All right, yeah, you can do this. Michael Kane, just thank you, Michael, for the kind words. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that.
And Cali Kid needs a waiver wire tight end. Gadsden and Joku, Ingram, Otten. It's probably Juwan Johnson, right?
I think it's Theo Johnson. I'm just going to go Gadsden here.
Oh, Theo Johnson. I forgot about Theo Johnson. Yeah, let's go Gadsden.
I think I'll go, Gadsden 1, probably Otten 2, Ingram 3.
All right, Saab 92, 6-1.
Nice.
Trade London Brees or Etienne Brees for Gibbs.
I mean, if I can either of these packages for Gibbs, give me Gibbs. Is anybody actually trading Gibbs this morning? Like, is anybody waking up today going like, you know what I need to do today? I need to trade away Jahmyr Gibbs.
So
look,
high.
If somebody is,
so high.
Yeah, so high. If somebody actually is trading away Jahmyr Gibbs, take Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't care if it's Brees Etienne. I don't care if it's London Brees. I'll take Gibbs.
I mean, like I'll take Gibbs, but I do kind of care. I mean, Etienne versus London, I would much rather keep London. So try to treat if you can trade Brees Etienne. It makes sense. You're getting a running back. So, but yeah, like who's doing this? Apparently, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're just being optimistic. I don't know. Robert Perky, what's up, Robert? Starlink is keeping me in the game.
Yeah, how's the fishing going? How's the fishing going?
Oh, that's right. I was like Starlink. Sadly, I have Starlink because where I live.
He went 24-6 while crab fishing out at sea. That's impressive.
Wow. Make it easier. Wow. Well, thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Man, yeah, I think you get the credit here for somehow managing 30 fantasy teams, which is more than each of us. I think, or it's pretty close. I don't even know how many I'm in now. And man, yeah, all right. you know what? I mean this. I'm serious. Not that it's a good idea, but I will take, instead of the super chat here, I want like a pound of fresh crab. I want some iced packaged sent in. I want to go Jameis Winston, full Jameis Winston, get the crab legs. but
Oh man,
you know,
Jameis Winston crab legs reference.
yeah, everybody get that. Look, I'm from South Florida. I miss some seafood. That's awesome, Robert. Vinny Vargas. What a week. One on Texans defense. Okay. Well, Texans have a good defense, so that's a smart move. Looks like Waller. Yeah, Waller, that's official, right? Waller's out.
This week, I believe so, but they're saying it's not going to require surgery, so he's week to week, so he may be back. So, not sure you want to drop Waller, but I mean, you probably don't have to hold Waller.
Yeah. Well, you need someone this week, pretty sure. So is it Gadsden again?
I think it's got. I think Gadsden has to be the answer. I mean, I would probably rank him. I mean, even for this week, rest of the season, I'd probably go Gadsden. I mean, I still like Mason Taylor. I might like Mason Taylor more with Tyrod. I'm gonna go Mason Taylor 2, Otten 3, Ingram Pitts 4, 5. I don't know.
Yeah, and it feels like we're just like trying to make Mason Taylor a thing. But I swear he could be good. Remember, he was getting targeted like crazy, but again, who else do they even have to target? Tyrod Taylor, maybe an improvement. But again, this week, look, if it doesn't happen this week for Mason Taylor, okay, fine, forget it. It's the Bengals. They are by far always, not even just this year, last year, the year before, they're always just for some reason horrible against tight ends. So Mason Taylor this week should have the highest upside, but rest of season, yeah, I think it's Gadsden. Maybe Pitts right afterwards. Auden is like okay. Ingram is okay. But you got good options. This pretty much reinforces why you didn't need to take, like a Brock Bowers or a George Kittle. Joe, Golden or Vidal? 1 point per yard. Not 0.1, a point per yard.
So Vidal had 42.5 points and Golden had 44.7. Wow. I mean, how many points? Who had like a bazillion yards? How many points did Christian McCaffrey have? Because that guy had like almost 200 total yards. You have like 200 something points? The heck? I'm gonna go Vidal here. Like I like Vidal again this week. I know he didn't come through last week, but again, Justin Herbert had to throw the ball 48 times in come from behind mode. I don't think that's going to be the case against the Vikings. And despite Saquon Barkley or was it Saquon Barkley who played the Vikings last week? Yeah, Saquon Barkley. Despite Saquon Barkley not having a good game against that Vikings defense, they actually have not been very good against the run. I'm going to take a chance on Vidal here.
Right, and someone mentioned earlier with Golden, like not the highest ceiling. We haven't seen it yet, right? So let's take Vidal and see what you get, because he should get rushing and receiving yards, as you mentioned. A man who lives up to his name, Daniel Caps. Any take about Aaron Jones this week? I mentioned Aaron Jones on the waiver wire video. I think he's a good stash.
On the waiver wire video, and apparently, Daniel, you have not watched the running back start sit yet, because we talk about this the first matchup of the week.
That's right.
Yeah, I think Aaron Jones now back in the flex conversation, because it sounds like he's going to be good to go. They opened up his practice window. I'm guessing he's going to play. Obviously, if he doesn't play, then never mind. But I think we're probably going to see what we saw earlier in the season, right? Aaron Jones catching passes, getting some early down run. Jordan Mason, more of the early down run. So, yeah, I think he's worth a flex, especially this week.
Right, especially this week. All right, John Wickering is back. Needs 2-2-1, full PPR, Swift, JT, Rashad White, Pollard, Buka, Flowers, Bourne, Diggs, Pearsall. And then on the waiver, let's see, picked up Gadsden, drop Shaheed, or Andrews, or Fannin.
Hold on, let me try to figure this out here. What do we
2, and I think 1 flex.
All right, so if we're setting the lineup, it's going to be JT and Rashad White, assuming Bucky's out again. It's going to be Igbuka, Flowers. I'm going to flex Diggs. All right, so waiver pickup Gadsden and drop Shaheed. I don't know. I mean, who is your current tight end? Andrews. Andrews your tight end?
I think it looks like he has Andrews and Fannin, so he's asking like, who would I drop to get Gadsden?
I mean, you could drop Andrews for Gadsden, I think.
Yeah, I think so. If you're going to get a tight end, you might as well drop a tight end, right? If you don't feel good enough to start him, then why hold him? Thank you, Wendell. By the way, Wendell Dillon, just saying, make sure you hit the likes. That's right. Haven't reminded anybody in quite a while. Don't forget you're watching. Hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that now. Help us get to our goal, 100K. It is in sight. Dion, what's up? Somebody dropped Chase Brown. See, there you go. Have Chuba Hubbard. Would it be worthwhile to drop Hubbard for Brown or not? It's non-PPR.
I think you got to prefer Chase Brown here. He's still mostly the guy. I think I would drop Chuba for Chase Brown.
Yeah, with Rico cutting into Chuba's work now, I think Chase Brown all of a sudden seems like he has more upside. And then also a quick QB question from Dion. Because of the JD injury, got Flacco, you got Dart, but you also got Nix. I think you got to prefer Nix here.
Yeah, I think Nix has to be ahead of all these guys at home against the Cowboys. I know it's going to be terrifying to put Nix in your lineup because it was crazy last week because I had a draft lane question. Somebody asked it like, because the Broncos game was the second window of games, right?
Right.
And somebody asked it like late in the early portion of the games between him and Daniel Jones. And they were both playing in the second window. And I was like, oh man, I think Daniel Jones is fine with Bo Nix at home against this. I think you got to take against the Giants. I think you got to take a chance on Bo Nix. And for 3 quarters, I'm like, that poor guy. I steered him so wrong. I felt so bad. And then at the end, I was like, yeah, Nix, all right. But for 3 quarters, I was like, this is horrible. Why did I was regretting it. So I understand putting Nix in your lineup. It's like, okay, here we go. Like, please. But it's at home against the Cowboys. I think you got to take a chance.
Yeah, it's great. Didn't he wind up as like the highest scoring QB of the whole week?
I think he was the highest scoring player of the whole week. Let me verify that. But I think he
in 1 quarter.
Well, maybe not over Chase. Let me see. He was the highest scoring player of the entire week over McCaffrey, over Chase, over Gibbs, over JT. He outscored everybody.
That's insane.
And it was all the fourth quarter, like all of it. It was the fourth quarter. Like literally, he went into the fourth quarter with 5 fantasy points or something.
That's insane. Look, it should be a higher scoring game. I mean, yeah, you got to go Knicks here. Daniel Caps also, just a quick tease here. Want to know, is Devin Neal a stash? Well, we do a stash video every week called Beat the Breakout. He's on it, so you're going to have to figure out why. For those who have no idea who that player is. Random Chaz Chats. It's 5-2, tied for second. Moving BTJ for Scary Terry and Juwan Jennings. What do you think about that?
I mean, look, I know BTJ's been bad, and it's like, is there really any hope left here? But I don't know. Do I want an injured Terry McLaurin and whatever Juwan Jennings is? I don't think so. I think I'd rather just hold BTJ here.
Yeah, if I felt better about Jennings, by better I mean like I wanted him on any of my teams, then maybe. Look, I will say though, I mean, I could see Terry if Terry's healthy and JD's healthy. Maybe not this week, but going forward, I mean Terry could be just as valuable or more than BTJ. So I don't think this is a bad trade because now we're hearing Liam Cohen. You see, he said something today like, "That's it. Like we're gonna just play our best players from now on." Like you weren't before.
You know what? Okay. Maybe it's just because I play fantasy and I just want, fantasy points. But I do really think there are coaches out there who don't just have the mindset of like, get the ball to our best players. Like their mindset is like, let me come up with this crazy, awesome, creative scheme that makes me look like a genius. When really the answer is just get the ball to your best. Like, okay, say whatever you want about Kyle Shanahan. What was Kyle Shanahan's game plan on Sunday night? He even said, like all week, he told the players, we're getting Christian McCaffrey the ball 40 times, right? We're just going to run it 40 times to Christian McCaffrey, and they're not going to be able to stop us, and we're going to win the game. He didn't be like, hey, we're going to run this, crazy complex, the Z is going to go, and the X is going to go here, and the Y is going to go here, and they're never going to see this one coming over here. Like, that's Arthur Smith, right? Like, oh, they're never going to see it. They're never going to see the jet sweep to Jonnu Smith at the goal line. Yeah, they're not going to see it because you're an idiot, and no one would run a jet sweep to Jonnu Smith at the goal line. Of course, they're not going to see it. Like, yeah, just get the ball to your best players. It's not hard. Not that hard of a game.
It's very hard for some coaches. I know some coaches are like, we want to get everybody involved. Like, look, they're all making their money. Come on. If they want to cry, then they can go to some other team. But anyways. All right, Cali Kid. All right, if JD doesn't play, I feel like it's Dart here again.
When's Phoenix Taylor? Yeah, it's Dart. It's Dart.
Let's go Dart. And then we have Niner fan. Speaking of the Niners, Judkins or Swift at the flex.
All right. You got the Michael Myers there. You're probably going to want to come at me with a large kitchen knife after I say this. But I'm going Swift. I know everybody's like, Judkins 3 times. How can you bench Judkins? How can you bench Judkins? Well, it's a terrible matchup for Judkins this week against that Patriots run defense. I'm worried about two things for Judkins here. Might even be three things. Let me look. I know number one is it's a tough Patriots run defense. Number two is they're probably going to have to throw the ball more this week. It's not going to be a game where like the Patriots are a good team. I know the Browns have a good defense, but the Patriots have a good offense. They're going to force the Browns probably to play from behind like they have most games this year, which hurts Judkins right there. But also, no, there is nothing else. Okay, that was it. I wasn't sure if there was a specific matchup thing here, but I just looked. So I know it's hard to bench Judkins. I don't feel like this is going to be a big Judkins game. I'm going to go Swift here. Maybe I'm going to regret this one. Maybe I'll regret this
one. I mean, you definitely could be right. As far as Judkins goes, the good thing is he gets all the touches. Yeah, they're not going to be, trashing the Patriots like they did the Dolphins necessarily. I don't know if they're going to be playing from behind all game necessarily either. So this one's as close here. I might lean Judkins for touchdown upside, but this could go either way. But either way, you know what? Appreciate Niner fan, not only a big Halloween fan, as we can tell, in a Draft Lane League, first place in Draft Lane League 2. Very nice.
Very nice. Well done.
Check my team there, so what we can do about that. Bobby Brook. Yeah, had a bad beat with Evans, 3 and 4. Man, you got such a good team too. So what do we do here? We got Love, Jacobs, Javonte, Kamara, blah, 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 JJ, Rice, Sutton, T-Mac, Pittman, McBride. I mean, how do you make this team better?
Yeah, you just say that's fantasy, right? That's football. It's fantasy. You just move on and do the best you can. You still got JJ, Rice, Sutton, Pittman, T-Mac. Yeah, not having Evans hurts, but you're not really going to miss Evans all that much.
No, you've got good players. Sometimes it doesn't break your way. And he has down below because he's got Love at quarterback, who is okay. Would you pick up Flacco and play him instead?
I mean, Flacco certainly has more upside, but he's also riskier. So
I think I could do it this week. I mean, I don't know who you would drop is the question. If you want to drop Love, he's your guy, but I just don't feel like there's a big ceiling for Love, so I would be okay doing that. Juice, now I got a question. Needs one for the flex. Brees, Swift, Dobbs, Flower, Shaheed.
I think it's Flowers. Flowers, yes. I do like Brees this week. I don't think I can put him in over Flowers.
Brees definitely risky, that's for sure. But yeah, Flowers isn't a good spot. I'm gonna go Flowers too. And then Mason Muselli misses the fantasy baseball season. I know we're not even done with baseball somehow. Crazy enough, it's still going. I mean, fantasy, yes, but anyways. All right, so he traded away Kamara and Hunter for Genti.
I mean, look, I know I just talked about, like, I don't love Ashton Genti's schedule here, but I mean, how good am I going to feel about Alvin Kamara, Travis Hunter? I think this should be a win.
I think so, because again, how great do you feel about Kamara these days? So yeah, that's fine. And next, it's Bond. James Bond in person. Worth prioritizing Gatson numbers if I have Fannin or target Monin guy who could be my RB3.
I mean, I think it's more important to get the running back. Look,
Yeah.
I think Fannin will be fine. I think, okay, it didn't happen last week, but he ran the same amount of routes as Jerry Jeudy, led the team in target share, led the team in first read percentage. It's just they didn't have to throw the ball because the Dolphins did nothing. Like, how can the Dolphins be that bad? Come on. Like,
oh yes.
Come on. That's like they were like Jets level bad last week. Like, come on. There's too many good players on that offense to be that bad. Which is why I'm a little nervous about Judkins this week because, again, it's not the Dolphins. Look, I don't think the Patriots are going to stomp the Browns, but I think the Patriots are going to be playing from ahead, not from behind. And I think the Browns are going to be playing from behind, not from ahead. So, but that being said, for this question here, the point of that was that I still think Fannin is going to be just fine.
Right.
So I would probably go Monin guy here because I think running backs are just more important.
Yeah, and especially you're saying like Algier is your current RB3. You want a little more depth than that, right? Algier shouldn't be your RB3. So let's do that. If you're still on, I mean, I hope you are because we've got your question, which maybe you weren't sure about. I want to know from the source himself, which is your favorite movie? Which is it? Which is the one? I'm a huge James Bond fan because my dad always loved those movies. You know, he's probably watched them all, so I have watched all of them. So I'll tell you mine if you divulge yours. All right, Bobby. Here's another one of those trades I don't understand. Who does this help? Chase and Henry for Jefferson and Jacobs.
Yeah, I don't. Sure. I mean, look, I probably prefer Chase to Jefferson right now, but I also prefer Jacobs to Henry. So, yeah, sure.
I'm gonna say no, just for the fact that you're a Packers fan and you got Jacobs. You might as well hold on to him.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
CJB, 2 receivers, 2 running backs, 2 flex. Got JT and Bijan. Nice. Warren and Chuba, tight end is Kraft. Unfortunately, BTJ, sorry, is his best option at wide receiver.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't. I mean, I guess you could try to sell high on Jalen Warren coming off a nice game, but I mean, when I say sell high, like, what do I really mean here? Like, what are we really? Actually, I'm looking. I mean, okay, could you get a T. Higgins?
After last week, maybe not. I mean, maybe not. I mean, I think you're gonna have to try to sell high if somebody's likes Jalen Warren, but also buy low. You know,
All right. What about
Probably
a
can't get
Pittman?
Nico, right?
A
Even
Zay,
after last night.
a Zay Flowers?
Oh yeah. I mean, try maybe not guaranteed. Try Zay Flowers.
DK Metcalf? Cortland Sutton's had 2 kind of like games in a row.
Look, Roma Dunze has had 2 subpar games. Maybe.
Maybe. Never know how low people are on players after 2 games like that.
Yeah, so the short and look, if he's coming back, even if not this week, because even if he comes back this week, it's a horrible matchup in Marcus Mariota's quarterback. But Terry McLaurin, you could possibly buy low on him. I think that'd be good long term. Maybe not this week, but long term. But the short answer is keep JT and Bijan. Don't trade them. Try to trade Warren. Yes. All right. What about? Always the Saints disrespect. Yes. Sorry, Juice. So we have a super chat from Javier, and let me see. Does that say Fiber Seal?
Yeah, Fiber Seal.
All right, Javier Fiber Seal. All right, here's the question: Daniels, McMillan, Myers, not ideal. CMC Jacobs flexing Kyron, not this week. Would you trade CMC? No.
Nope. Nope.
Just no. Oh, look.
I mean, CMC by himself is like scoring as much as St. Brown and Rice combined.
It's not unreasonable to trade Jacobs and McMillan for those 2 receivers.
Right. I think Jacobs, McMillan for St. Brown, Rice feels fair.
Okay, so you could do that.
Or I would even be okay, like if you can trade. I don't know if you can do Kyron for St. Brown, but you might be able to do Kyron for Rashee Rice. I mean, I know he had a nice game last week, but there's people that will tell themselves like, "Hey, that was just one game, right? Like it's just one game."
You never know. You never know what people tell themselves. Don't trade CMC. Period. Okay. This name got me. How about this? You like golf, don't you? You kind of semi-play. How about if suck less at golf with Coach Kendall?
All right, Coach Kendall, where are you at?
Yeah.
I keep thinking about, like, I used to play a ton of golf. I keep thinking about it. There's like a course right down the street from me. I could go, and I'm just like, it's so time consuming though. It's a problem. So time consuming.
Yeah, we're gonna wait for the off season, that's for sure. Josh Downs or Tez Johnson, assuming Downs plays.
I'm still gonna go Tez Johnson. I just think he has more upside in this offense. They kind of feel similar, right? Kind of feel similar. As far as like, well, I mean, Downs pretty much a slot guy though, so I guess not.
Yeah, not exactly similar in the way they're used, but I know what you're saying. Similar in terms of upside, but like we keep saying, the concern here with the Colts is they just don't have to pass much this week. With Downs, coming off the concussion, yeah, let's go Tez. You don't want to flex Spears now. All right, Busses now thinks that maybe he lost a question somewhere. He was offered Brees and Ladd for Golden and Judkins. Depends on how optimistic you are on Brees.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fair here. I think Ladd Judkins is fair. I think Brees Golden is fair. You got Rico and Judkins are your running backs, and Travion Henderson. So now your running backs are going to be Rico Brees? No, I think I'm just going to keep Judkins here. I don't know if I want Rico and Brees to be my running backs. I mean, I know you need wide receiver help too, because, I mean, Jameson Williams, oh my gosh. Jeez, what is going on there?
Yeah. It's fair. Again, this comes down to how optimistic are you on Brees Hall? Because Judkins, you can start pretty much every week and say, like, I'm not worried. I think we can worry about Breece Hall. So there's still some upside, there's some potential, but I don't feel like this is like a buy low. I think it's just fine. It's kind of lateral. So yeah, I don't know if I would want to do this. Oh, all right. Look, I'm as cynical as any Doll fan, but Russell Pace wanting to drop Waddle for Chase Brown. I don't want to drop him.
No, I don't think so.
No, I know he's bad last week, and like every single week, he somehow gets hurt for part of the game and then limps off to the
Yes.
sideline. And I'm not even kidding. Like every game, at some point, oh, Waddle's limping to the sideline. Like what the hell? And then he
Every
comes
game.
back, but we just make it
Every
through a
game.
John Wickering asked to trade Pollard to get Addison. Oh yeah, I'll get Addison.
Yeah, if you can trade Pollard, who wants? So you asked. I mean, yeah, you asked. I don't know if they'll accept, but yeah, if somebody's going to do this, get Addison for sure.
And as if you need a reason to be out on Tennessee in general, more. Speaking of that remaining strength of schedule for RBs specifically, Tennessee 31st, almost the hardest schedule. So with Spears and Pollard now basically eating each other's opportunities up, like yeah, I think you just have to try to get out from under Pollard. All right, Mark Wassman is back. He placed a waiver on Tez. Who should I take out, Judy or Calvin Austin? So, look, I'm totally fine not starting Jerry Judy.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too. I mean, I think you can drop either of these guys, honestly. But at least Calvin Austin was kind of involved earlier in the year. But either one.
Yeah. All right. Rusty is back. Happy Tuesday. Here you go. Happy waiver wire day. Where can we improve here? We got JD, Rice, CD, Buka, Sutton, and then Pearsall, HN, CMC, Judkins. What? It's a humble brag.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can trade Rice and Igbuka and get Chase. Like what? Come on, this team is stacked.
This is a humble brag for sure. Look, there you cannot improve this team except you might need a quarterback this week. That's it. That is it. But well done. You deserve it, right?
Yes.
What about NTY? Odner, Gadsden.
I think you got to take a chance on Gadsden. It's not just the fact that he's getting targeted. It's like his yard after catch ability, his explosiveness. Like he can just do so much.
Yep.
So
let's
go. Take a chance.
Go for the ceiling. Go for the ceiling. All right. Thank you, NTY. NTY. Well, I think we obviously always on here super chatting. We also did that draft lane question. This reminds me because we're a little past halfway. I think this is a good time. Let's do one of the draft lane questions because not everybody who is on here now was on at the top of the show. You may not know. It's possible that you may not know about draft lane. Well, let's talk about draft lane. Draft lane is our app. It's the app that we use to do this 24/7. So we can answer your questions at any time on the app. And still, if you use code ENDGAME here in the promo code section, you go to the settings, use code ENDGAME, you get 10 free points, and you can use those to ask free questions. So it's a free download. So go to either your App Store on Apple or the Google Play Store and download Draft Lane, all one word. It's a free download. And then you can ask your questions if you use code ENDGAME to get those points. These users did that. So let's try one. Ask a question. Get Waddle, give Kamara.
I mean, my gut reaction is that I want Waddle here, but this feels sort of fair now that Kendra Miller out for the season. It's PPR
True.
though. I mean, I think this might actually come down to like what your team needs, right? Like if Waddle's your wide receiver 4, because remember Waddle was going in like the 6th, 7th round of like redraft league. So if Waddle's your wide receiver 4, and maybe Kamara's now going to be your RB2 every week, I think I'm okay taking Kamara here. I think I prefer Waddle slightly, but it feels pretty close now with the Kendra Miller injury.
Yeah, so I'll say again, I think we're in agreement here. In a vacuum, slightly prefer Waddle, but this depends on your team need. If you have Kamara as like, because he's saying give Kamara, so if you have Kamara as your RB3 or lower, do this. That sound right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to what you need, right? If you need running back help and, Waddle's not starting for you most weeks, then yeah, sure, I can do it. But if you need Waddle, I don't do that.
All right. Go. That was too quick. Let's do another.
All
How
right.
about start set advice? And again, if you're on Yahoo or Sleeper and you're on Draftlane here, you can sync your leagues. So when we do this, he says, look any changes. That's because we can actually look. Dak, Justin Jefferson, Khalil Shakir, JT Swift, Mason Taylor. Very nice. There's Kamara, Bourne, no thanks. Hunter Henry or Mason Taylor. Go
No, I
Mason
still go
Taylor.
Mason Taylor.
Daniel Jones over Dak Prescott. Don't think so.
No.
Oh, we can drop Kendrick Miller.
Yeah, you can definitely drop Kendra Miller.
Uh,
Terry, who's the wide receivers here?
got JJ and Shakir, and then flexing
Yeah, it's
Kamara.
probably fine. I don't love Terry this week, especially with Mariota probably starting, so that's fine.
Yeah, looking to drop Bourne for I think Tez Johnson. That's fine. And yes, definitely drop Kendrick Miller for okay. What do you think, Monangai or Leggett? Not Malik Washington.
I'm gonna go Monty guy.
All right. I'm gonna say even if Terry plays, you can keep him on the bench. And then whoops. I don't know why it does that. It's gonna get tired sometimes. Okay. You see what I'm doing, giving the feedback here, personal feedback. Yes to dropping Bourne and Miller for Tez Johnson and Kyle Monangai.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. And again, we're answering questions in Draftlane all the time, day and night. So you can ask your question at any time. Let's put it back to where we are. Let's get back to super chats. Also, thank you. Those of you who are always on here, appreciate you. Ninja Fitness, you're way too kind. I don't know if I'd call it wisdom, but it's some knowledge. It's a random assortment of knowledge.
That's a nice way to say it.
All right. Then we have, let's see, Jolito Vasquez. Chase Pittman, London Golden Myers, Kelsey May, Rico Chuba, Kamara Walker. Who should I trade to get another running back?
Well, yeah, I see why you need another running back. But I don't know. I mean, you don't really want to trade away Chase. You trade away London, you're stuck with Pittman, Golden, and Jacoby Myers. Oh, man. I mean, unless you do something like package Kamara and Golden, maybe. Right? Because Kamara has, decent value now with Kendra out. Golden doesn't really have a ton of value. I mean, yeah, I don't even know if that's going to help you, honestly. Do you have another tight end besides Kelsey? I wouldn't mind trying to sell high on Kelsey while there's still a slight window. But he's not going to. But Kelsey alone is not going to get you a better running back.
Yeah, in a perfect world, you could package like Kelsey and a Panthers running back or Walker to get a better running back. Try it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know because like Walker hasn't even again. Then last night we had to watch Charbonnet get 2 touchdowns again. Like,
yeah, no, honestly, I think we have to be kind of done with Walker at this point. I think it's zero value, but you can't trust him as your 2 every single week, any single week, really. So this
Right.
is how it's going to be. This is what it is. This is what, in all of his wisdom, Clint Kubiak has decided this is what works. And I hate that it's actually sort of working, that they're winning. Like it's not really working. Like it could be better, but they're like look, he's like, look at me, I figured it out. I am assuming that's what he says to himself.
Probably.
Yeah, I would try that. Try to package some of those like risky RB2s, maybe Kelsey. Look, even if you have to pluck a Rundy Gadsden or Harold Fannin or Mason Taylor off waivers and play them at tight end, like that's fine, right?
Yes, that is
All
definitely
right.
fine.
So let's try it. It's me, Fidel. Would you start Pittman or Higgins this week in non-PPR?
I think I got to go Higgins. More big play, more potential for a touchdown. You said it on the wide receiver video that nobody has seen yet. What is he? He's something like he's getting more. He's got more inside the 10 targets than Chase this year.
Yep. He's one of the leaders in what they call money zone targets. So he's definitely got that touchdown upside. Now Pittman's been scoring too, but what we keep saying this week, like who's going to score the touchdowns for the Indianapolis Colts? It's going to be JT.
Yes.
So, Juice 420. Welcome. 10 team PPR 3 and 4. Here's the squad. Here's the bench. Any changes? Yeah, you got some good players on bye, but it looks like Odunze is just on the bench.
Yeah.
Go both Eagles.
I'm putting Odunze in over Devonta Smith. I know it hasn't been good the last 2 weeks, but this is a good spot here. I know this almost feels like Mason Taylor, right? Like this is the Odunze week. This is it, guys. Like what happened? What happened in the bye? Like what happened in the bye with the Bears? Like what did they do? Like
I don't know. DeAndre Swift brought Ben Johnson cookies, and Odunze didn't. Maybe he forgot his birthday or something.
I guess.
Now, we expressed concern. He's clearly not a must start anymore, but also we're lower on Odunze, but it doesn't mean he's unstartable. Like he hasn't been bad. He should have had that touchdown 2 weeks ago, right? Called back, and they're still gonna have to probably pass a fair amount this week. I don't think it's gonna be a crazy high scoring game, but yeah, I still want Odunze there. All right, NTY again. Tez or Downs? I think we already answered by saying Tez.
Yeah.
All right. Then, okay. Needs help. And of course, fantasy football is pain. Was just offered the very tempting package of BTJ, Rico Dowdle, Matthew Golden, and Kenneth Gainwell for Ladd, Marv, and Woody Marks.
I mean, I think I got to prefer the Ladd Harrison side. I don't think I strongly prefer it, but I mean, Rico, Golden's okay. BTJ, I don't know. I think I just want the Ladd Harrison side. I think I just want your side.
I don't think I strongly prefer either side.
Right.
Yeah, Marks and Gainwell we can just ignore. Golden is not really a big factor in this trade, right? I think it's I prefer Ladd over BTJ, and I prefer Harrison, I think, over Rico or Golden. So yeah, I prefer the Ladd side. Then we have a user. I don't know if you know this user by the name of Alec Master. Who could this be?
What's up?
Hey. How's it going? This is, for those who don't know, Master is right. He's the mastermind behind Draft Lane, the man who basically did 99.99% of the work, and we're just kind of getting credit for it. So what's up, Ali? Thank you for all the great content. Gibbs, Kyron are on bye. JD is questionable. So he needs quarterback. Let's see. Pick up Tez Johnson. Yes. Who to drop? You need to drop 2.
I mean, you have Kincaid, Pitts, and Otten.
Yeah, you don't need all of them. Well, you definitely don't need Corum. I mean, he's on bye. He's not going to do anything. I don't think anybody's rushing out to pick him up.
Yeah, I think I'm going to drop Corum and one of your tight ends. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Because I want to start Kincaid this week.
Yeah, definitely want to start Kincaid. You can.
So I'm going to drop Corum and I don't know, Pitts, I guess.
Yeah, so you can drop Pitts or Otten, kind of the same almost. I have them both the exact same. I think you have them both the exact same. We both have them like streaming candidates. You could probably drop Pitts.
Yeah.
All right, drop Corum and Pitts. There you go. Get Tez and whatever quarterback you can get. Anthony, I see your comment. All right, good. Glad that works out for you. You don't want to start Nick Chubb. Definitely. Gadsden is a better option. And then, so speaking of Gadsden, John Wickering. So if someone grabs Gadsden before he can, you're going Andrews or Fannin?
I'm just going to keep Fannin. I still like Fannin.
Yeah, like he didn't smash last week, but he's still getting more targets than Andrews. So let's do that. Julio, holding Bowers. Yes, you got to hold him.
Yes.
So here's the question: Fannin or Gadsden or Auden or Ertz?
I think you just gotta roll with Gadsden and see if he keeps it going.
You can't start Ertz this week. He's been solid, but at the Chiefs with Mariota, nah, let's not do that. Auden and Fannin are both decent backup options. And then we have your boy Skids. I think I nailed that one. PPR start 8. Look at Lamar. Yes, Lamar, CMC, K9 Pacheco, Tootin, Lamb Smith, Olave, Golden, Ayuk.
Ayuk?
Reed? Jaden Reed.
Jaden Reed?
Ty Warren.
Receiver.
Franklin Sampson.
Dylan Sampson.
Hold on. This is a man of great faith. You have Jaden Reed, Brandon Ayuk, and Dylan Sampson still.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to improve that running back room, of course. I mean, what are we doing here? Are we trading like Devonta Smith?
I mean, I would love to say you could trade K9. Don't know how much interest people have in him. So this is the wide receiver.
You're not going to be able to trade K9 and get a better running back.
No, you would have to package him.
Exactly, but like, who are you packaging him with?
Well, here's the problem:
no one's trading for Brandon Ayuk or Jaden Reed.
No, and not even Golden either, right? Golden doesn't have trade values. That's the problem. Is like if you try to package him with like Devonta Smith or Olave, well, then who do you have at wide receiver? That's the problem. Is you don't have the depth to make a trade like that to improve. I would say you need waiver wire ideas. Just drop Samson. You can drop Franklin. You don't need Franklin in a 12-teamer. Try to get some of these other new pickups that we've mentioned. You might have a decent option out there.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else you can do. I hate to say it. Someone is maybe really hurting because of injuries and bye weeks, and they're like, hey, I'll take K9 and Pacheco. If this is hypothetical, if they'll do that and give you, look, you're not getting, Saquon Barkley for that, but
no.
Like even Breece Hall, that would be an upgrade, maybe.
I mean, yeah, I would do that.
Bucky, an injured Bucky, and they're like, man, I have no running backs to start. Bucky's hurt, and I'll take your starting running backs.
I mean, I guess if you're playing with noobs, maybe.
You never know. Chief Burp, definitely not a noob. Kincaid or Fannin?
Kincaid this week. Definitely Kincaid this week.
And then flexing Devonta Smith, Keenan, Addison, Mason or White?
I think this was going to be tough until you said White. I think it's got to be Rachaad White against the Saints. Nothing wrong with Addison. Nothing wrong with Keenan. Nothing wrong with Devonta Smith. But I'm going to take Rachaad White against the Saints.
Yeah, it is half PPR, so that makes more sense here. But yeah, if Bucky's still out, then Rachaad White makes sense. Julio wants to know, are you picking up Monangai, Mondre, or Tez?
I think it's between Monangai and Tez. I mean, it's like you feel like you should pick up Ramondre, but at the same time, I don't even think I want to pick up Ramondre, honestly. I know he had a nice game last week, but he's probably going to go back to being terrible this week. I think it comes down to what you need. Like Tez, really all these guys probably close for me. So if you need wide receiver, Tez is going to be one. If you need running back, I guess Ramondre probably should be the number one run. He's a workhorse running back, right? Like at least he gets the volume. He probably should be ahead of Monangai.
Yeah, he should be. And I remember because he's got a league. He had both Ramondre and Henderson, and he's like, who do I pick up? Who do I drop? Who do I hold? You know what? I think you can drop Henderson if you already haven't. And I love, he knows Julio's been here since a couple of years now. So respectfully asking a defense question.
All right.
Patriots or Colts?
I think you got to go Colts against the Titans. I mean, nothing wrong with the Patriots either.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the Patriots, but you know that, look, if there's one thing, Dylan Gabriel, he hasn't thrown an interception yet, has he? So.
No, because he doesn't throw it far enough for the ball to get intercepted.
Right. So it limits the defensive upside. JD Murray needs 2 between AJB, DK, Pearsall, and Shaheed.
Well, I think it's got to just be the first 2. I think even if Pearsall plays, I'm just going to start the first 2.
Right, because even if Pearsall plays, you got to be a little leery now. You know, how long he's going to last. Mac Jones has not been great. So, yeah. And then Chief Perp, if JD is a no-go, May, Love, Caleb, or Dart?
I think it's got to be May. I know it's the Browns, but does it even matter? He's been so good. I think I just got to roll with May.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, just go May and you feel pretty good. Dart's interesting, but May runs a little bit. But May's been so good. All right, Grant C is asked a few times, really wants to know thoughts on this. Is that, what is his name? Scrat or something? Oh, no, that's the other thing from Ice Age. Anyways, sorry, flashbacks. I traded Kamara for Brees Hall.
Feels fine. I think I might prefer Brees Hall. Kamara's just looks so bad. So it's fine. I don't have a strong opinion here.
You're betting on upside, right? Taking a chance that Brees is better or that the offense is better with Tyrod Taylor, although who knows how long that is even going to last. Raul Castellanos. Should you pick up Flacco if JD doesn't play? I mean, that's fine. I don't know. The only other option that's probably out there on waiver wire that you'd like better is what, Dart? Is there anybody else you?
I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers is okay this week, but I would still prefer Flacco.
There you go. The words I was waiting to hear. Prefer Flacco.
I said okay. I said okay this week. I didn't say good this week.
You know, I was never like this big Joe Flacco fan, but now just since he's turned like 38 and since it's like a sentimental thing now, it's like I'm rooting for him. Like he's like, I don't care how old I am. Like I don't care what team I play for. I'm just gonna go out and play. Like he just doesn't. And I think he deserves more credit. You go buy a Flacco jersey. The question is, what team?
Well, I just traded for him in my stacked dynasty team, so now I'm definitely rooting for Flacco.
Nice. Was that the same one where I should have pushed harder for you to buy Jake Browning?
Yes. Oh, and I'm so glad I made that trade because I got Diggs and I had Evans on that team, but now I don't have Evans on that team anymore.
Mm.
But it's probably okay because I still have Puka, Amon-Ra, Pickens, Flowers, Terry McLaurin whenever he comes back. Oh, and I have Christian McCaffrey and Bijan Robinson.
In Dynasty?
Yes.
How did you get all that? It's
It was
trades.
a startup. We did the startup draft like what last year, I think, and remember, or 2 years ago. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to punt QB and just like my QBs are Matthew Stafford and Joe Flacco. And coming into this season, my only QB was Russell Wilson coming into the year.
Wow.
But he got me by because the rest of the team is so good. And then I was like, okay, he's going to get benched. I got to go get another QB. I got Matthew Stafford, and now I just traded for Flacco. I got Flacco, Diggs, and I got Fannin. Look, his tight end premium. I got Fannin. I'm happy about that.
You're making it work, obviously. Yeah, that's a perfect example. You said the trades you don't make sometimes are the best. Jake Browning. Sitting on my bench. All right. This is an interesting question. Obviously, we're not talking this week, but long term, what do you think about Godwin? Do we value him? Is this a sneaky buy low for Chris Godwin with Evans basically done for the season, or too risky?
Yeah, I think sneaky buy low sounds about right here. Why not? I mean, yeah, like what is it really going to take to get Godwin right now? Like some bench running back or something?
I actually haven't checked. Had no reason to check specifically about Godwin, but I bet he's been dropped in some leagues. And look, when they go on bye is next week, right? They go on bye in week 9. He'll get dropped in some leagues as well. So yeah, you can probably get him for nothing now. I think it's worth it again if you can stash a player and know you're not getting anything the next couple of weeks. Maybe. All right, we have Selena Ortega. Welcome back. Lamar or Herbert? You just got to start
Lamar.
Yeah.
Lamar plays. He's in my lineup.
And I don't think there's going to be any limitations on him, right? He waited long enough.
Yeah, I doubt it. I can't imagine they would play him with limitations.
Judkins, Mason, Kyron. Well, that's easy. No Kyron this week. CD, London, Sutton, Debo. Probably no Debo this week. McBride is on bye. Goddard. So your lineup is pretty much set. It feels like,
yeah.
I love this. I feel like I need main character energy at RB. But what can we do?
I mean, unless you're like willing to trade Trey McBride and maybe go get like a Javonte or maybe even a Henry or somebody like that. Like, what are you really going to do here?
Yeah, it has to be realistic, right? Like Debo would have been a great trade chip, except now he's done nothing for a couple weeks, so there goes that. I'd love to say this is the best time, maybe the last chance to kind of trade Mason for a decent return before Aaron Jones comes back. But again, I think probably, well, maybe not everybody knows Aaron Jones coming back and they're not too worried about Aaron Jones. Kyron's on bye. That's the other thing. It's like, could you package Mason and Kyron to get a really good running back? Maybe. Well, okay, how about this? I know you don't like trading for a quarterback. Are you okay trading away a Herbert or Lamar since you've got the other one?
Well, I mean, yeah, but again, I mean, if I could trade a Lamar and get again like a Javonte or a Derrick Henry or like a true RB1, sure. I don't know if Herbert's going to get you that. Like, I don't think is somebody going to give you Derrick Henry for Justin Herbert? I don't think so. But maybe Lamar.
Yeah, you would think. So if you're okay with this, I mean, you should be okay starting Herbert pretty much on a weekly basis. You know what? Let's check the strength of schedule. The Chargers, as far as QB rest of the season, it is dead middle. So it's not easy or hard. It's fine. And Herbert has been solid. I mean, look, if you can trade away Lamar to get a really good running back, do it. If you have to throw in Mason, yeah, do it. All right, Mark Evans chiming in here. Take your guesses. What is it about?
I'm going to say it's something like pretty normal.
You're sort of right. It's back to our previous discussion from not too long ago. I guess this is aimed towards you. Got some advice. Drop golf, pick up bowling.
I don't know. I mean, bowling's fine every now and then, like once or twice a year on a Friday night. I don't know. Bowling's it's fine. I've never really been super into bowling. I don't know why.
I like bowling. Actually, you know, it's funny. Yeah, like you said, like a Friday night. I like the cosmic bowling. That's fun. You know who really likes bowling, which I'm surprised is my beautiful wife. She loves bowling, and you would never guess it from looking at her. She's like, I want to go bowling. Like we don't go hardly ever anymore, but she loves bowling. Like
Wow.
that's weird.
All right.
No, we need to go bowling. She at one point almost right. What was it? She wanted a custom bowling ball. She wanted her own
What?
ball with her name. It was like going to
Wow.
be pink and like I was like, that's too far.
I will say, I mean, the great thing about bowling, it's like a great date night activity. It's not like super expensive. You know, it's fun ish.
It's not a glowing review. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. Well, you know, it's as fun as the people you're bowling with usually. But that could be said for
True.
anything.
That is true.
All right, here we go. So that's it. It's a plan now. When I get out to California, next time we hang out, whenever I do get out to California, we're going bowling. Mark also wants to know, ask Draft Lane how I get one of those sweet T-shirts. Well, it's not on Draft Lane.
Right. Draft lane's not good. No.
Yeah, Draftlane will not know. Draftlane is not AI. Draftlane is us. You want to? I'm assuming you're talking about the sweet Endgame shirt, not the Voodoo Donut shirt I have on. But you can go to bearclothing.org. Should I put the comment in the what it is? Here we go.
Sure.
Bearclothing.org. Let me get you the exact link. It's a company. It's a friend of ours, and so I'll drop the link in there. Okay. Well, let's move on to Dill. 3 receivers, 2 running backs, 2 flex, tight end, kicker, half PPR. Here is the squad. Scatta baby. Vidal, Sharps, Marks, Mason Taylor, 2 bench spots for waivers. What do I need?
Well, you don't need QB. Chase Pickens of Doonty. You don't need wide receiver. Yeah, you could use running back for sure. So I don't know if like Moninguy's out there. Look for Moninguy. Look who's out there. You're fine at tight end. You really just need running back. That's really it.
All right. I'm still looking for the link. I'll have to find it later. So 3, did we set the lineup yet? Do we need to set the lineup here?
We can set the lineup. Let's see. 3 wide receivers. You're going to play Chase Odunze. I think I'm going to go Devonta Smith over Pickens this week. He's probably going to get the Surtain shadow. So I'm going to go Chase Odunze Smith. You're going to go Scattaboo and Vidal at running back. Oh, man, we need 2 flexes here. Oh, boy. Well, I guess you're flexing Pickens. I mean, look, that's just – oh, wait, Charbonnet's on bye. I guess you're flexing Woody Marks. Unless you pick up Moninguy, I might go Moninguy over Woody Marks. Although Woody Marks did score late, but that was a garbagey of garbageous touchdowns possible. Dart at QB, and obviously Mason Taylor, unless Bauer somehow plays this week, which I doubt. Oh, wait, they're on bye, so he can't play this week. So, Taylor.
All right. There you go. Thank you, Dill. And then we have, let's see, next one. Okay. There it is. There's the answer. Back to our previous one. Casino Royale. Good choice. I'm assuming you mean the reboot, the Daniel Craig one, not the Peter Sellers one. That's actually one of my favorites too. Mine is actually The Man with the Golden Gun. Love that one. Do you have a favorite one?
You know, I never really watched the Bond movies, honestly. I don't know why. Just never did.
They're awesome. Awesome. You got to binge watch all 30 of them. Elijah Ledesma. Lost Mike Evans, possibly Nico, and Jaden Daniels just wants to share that his heart hurts. I get it. That's what the waiver wire is for. Don't panic. There's always next week. Not for Mike Evans though. Okay. No. Let's see. Make sure we get caught up on the super chats before we start going elsewhere. Not too far behind, actually. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you. And then, well, here's Anthony. Endgame Empire. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Endgame Empire. We got to make a shirt that says that, don't we?
Yes.
All right, Juice. Pick one to flex. London, Scatterboo, QJ, Mason Golden.
I'm going to go London here. I still think London's a tier above these guys in PPR.
Yeah, the only one I would even consider is Scatterboo. I mean, we remember what he did against the Eagles. He's not doing that again, right? I mean, he's still a good start, but
yeah,
I don't think we can overreact to that. Yes, thank you. See, I knew it. Favorite movie is Blade Runner. A movie that everybody should see at some point in their life.
Yeah, you told me that last time. I guess I gotta watch Blade Runner at some point. Again, I remember watching it with my dad. I mean, I say watching it. I was like, I don't even know if I was 10 years old yet. I don't know. I was like too young to even grasp what the heck was going on in that movie.
You gotta watch it again. All right, so here we go. We're making a weekend of it. Going bowling, watching Blade Runner.
Going bowling. Yeah, I've been bowling. I don't really need to go bowling again.
Hating on the bowling. Okay. The Curious Clown.
All right.
Is that Dr. Doom? I love that. Right? Isn't that what it looks like?
Yep.
All right. Dr. Traded Doom. BTJ and DK for Scatterboo. Too much?
I don't know. I mean, what are we really getting from BTJ? I mean, this could end up being too much if BTJ bounces back to being BTJ. But I don't know. I think it's okay.
I mean, they're not number one. BTJ should be, but he hasn't. Still kind of feels like a lot, though. Johnny Donuts, what's up?
What's up?
It's a little late at night for the donuts.
Never too late for a donut. Never.
That's true.
As long as it's not the donut that's been sitting in the thing all day. Don't give me your donut. Don't give me your donut that you made at 6 a.m. and try to charge me full price. Come on, get out of here with that.
Yeah, no, we want the fresh ones. Looking ahead to week
11.
11?
Come on, we're just starting week 8.
Look, I know, like I said at the beginning, the whole thing is where like end game is like looking forward. It's I didn't mean it that far. Like buys, it's a little too soon. But let's see what the question is. Flacco versus Rodgers rematch. Okay. Well, I guess let's look ahead. We got time. It's week 11. Who are you going with?
I mean, you probably got to prefer Flacco, right? He's got Chase and Higgins.
I think so. I know it's going to be a home game for them, but still, I think you still got to prefer Flacco. Going to agree. Better weapons, better offense. All right. It feels appropriate. We end with an Arondi Gadsden question. Brayton Bachelor, Dalton Kincaid, or Arondi Gadsden?
Kincaid. I like Kincaid this week.
Yeah. I like Kincaid a lot this week. I think I even put him as a strong start.
You did.
Big Man Fishing. What's up? Well, got here just in time. Had this question already. So would you drop Evans and guys like Leggett are available?
Like only if I badly need wide receiver now. Again, there's a chance that Evans comes back for the fantasy playoffs. And it's not like Like, yeah, it's the shoulder. It's not good, but it's not the knee. It's not the ankle. It's not the, you know what I mean? Like, he'll still be able to run. So I really don't want to drop Evans if I can help it.
Yeah, and if I remember, he's in, I think, an 8-man and a 10-man. Like, they're not super deep, or maybe it's a 10 and a 12. Yeah, if it's a guy you don't really need, that's okay. You can just hold it, Evans, for now. Elijah now does have a question. Flex, and it's start 2. Rico, Devontae, Xavier, Chase Brown. Does that say flex 1, start 2?
Yeah, flex 1, start 2.
So we're only sitting 1.
I think I'm going to sit Xavier Legette.
Is it Legette or is it Worthy?
Good question. If it's Worthy, I'm going to sit. I've got Chase Brown ahead of Rico. So if it's Worthy, I'm going to sit Rico.
Yeah, I think Rico is the one. It's finally time. I'll say the right is over because like he still could be started, but he's not a set and forget. That's for sure. Cali Kid said he thinks he missed this one. I don't remember this one. Is Myers or Jennings droppable for Tez?
Well, they asked Jacoby Myers about if he still wants to get traded, and he said, "Oh yeah, for sure." So it's still in the cards here. I don't know. I think you could probably drop either. I think I'm probably going to drop Jennings.
Yeah, either one, especially if you need someone this week. Like what's Myers going to give you? What's Jennings going to give you? Yeah, I think that's fine. All right. Good evening, Mr. Rivers. Just checking in here. What's up? How about family group? Should I start Kamara or Dowdle?
I think you got to go Kamara this week.
Yeah, it's interesting. Now Rico's splitting carries with Chuba, and now all of a sudden Kamara not splitting carries with anyone, unless they try to work in Devin Neal, which you figure is not going to be that much. So yeah, got to lean towards the volume here, right? Go Kamara. Interesting question from Chase Hunter. Would you trade Jacobs for Odunze and Henry? Hoping it's Derrick Henry.
Oh, my dogs. I mean, it certainly feels fair. Like getting Odunze, like I don't really want to trade away Jacobs, but to get Odunze and Henry, I think I might have to. I might have to get Odunze and Henry.
So if it's Derrick Henry, then yes. If it's Hunter Henry, that's
Yeah.
a hard no. Just got to clarify because you never know. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, Dawn. Yeah, that's the big question. She's stashing Evans if he'll recover. Even if he does, it's gonna be very late in the season, so it's risky. Like I get it. If you want to drop Evans, I'm okay with it, but don't drop him just for the sake of dropping him. You know, you don't have to do that. One more, Elijah. As a New York Giants fan, crazy to think adding. You saw Tyler Lockett, by the way. He asked to be released, and he was. Don't blame him. Adding Lockett or trading for Myers would help the G-men.
I mean, I don't think it can hurt.
I mean, like who are they rolling out there? Bo Collins or
Lil Jordan Humphrey, Darius Slayton, if he can ever get healthy, yeah, I don't think it'll hurt.
Jacoby Myers, I mean, yeah, of course, that would definitely help. And Lockett, maybe not so much. I don't know if Tyler Lockett has much left or anything left. All right, I don't think we've anything left. We've been caught up here on the questions, so we'll call it a night, and we'll be back tomorrow. So no worries. And of course, if you got questions at any time, you can just use the Draft Lane app, right? 24/7. Don't forget, use code Endgame, so get some free points there. And we've got videos already coming out, ready for week 8. But we do the live streams because things change every single day in the NFL. So You got your questions, ask away. All right, guys. If you haven't yet at any point, don't forget, on the way out, thumbs up, like this video, and also hit subscribe if you haven't yet. We want you to be a part of it. We're on the way to 100K, so help us reach that goal. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow.